Ladies and gentlemen, you are here because you are probably in Aries. You have an Aries and Mercury, and we're talking specifically about the Aries in the 5th house of Mercury. So here's what this means. Here's why you want to know about it. Before I even go any further, you know the deal. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, because this is my creative channel. This is why you're here. If you're in the 5th house, you are the performer. You are the creator. And if you're in Aries, you're doing this and you're creating from pure instinct, ladies and gentlemen. This is the position with Mercury and Aries where, oh man, I need some water. I got the fire coming out of my throat. And Aries is obviously a fire sign. It's the first fire sign. It's the spark, baby. So the way your mind works, the way your intellectual processing system works, it is all about the spark. When you are sparked and you have inspiration flowing through your veins, this is exactly the moment that you need to go ahead and go at it. Because Aries doesn't do anything that doesn't have to do with their passion. This is the passion placement, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let me take a breath. Hit that subscribe while I'm breathing, okay? Because I'm about to dive in. I'm about to absolutely dive in. Okay, here we go. So I have a Mercury in Aries. I like to really speak from places of experience rather than trying to tell you who you are, and I'm not really living that life. So this is the real deal. I've been looking for a Mercury in Aries video in the 5th house forever, and I didn't find one. And I'm like, wait a minute, Pernell, you're an astrologer, bro. Why don't you do that? If you want to get your chart read, your natal chart read, go ahead, hit me up. You'll see the link down below. If you're looking to expand yourself sexually, that's a one-on-one mentorship I'm doing at a 1-month time span. I would love to have somebody come in for that. I'm really offering that in this moment. But let's get into it. Mercury and Aries. Whoo! Okay, you're a fire starter. You know that. You're a fire starter. You know that. You have a very bold voice, for starters. All right. Mercury is about communication. All right. Mercury sits with Gemini. It sits with Virgo, and it shares the planet. Yin and Yang. They have differences. When Aries is in Mercury, it likes to be there. Because of that wind element that Gemini provides, Aries likes to be there, and it really is something that stimulates ridiculously fast. All right, because Aries is a spark and Gemini is a wind. When you have that wind blowing and Aries hits that inspiration and you get that quick spark, this is the magic for you. This is the magic. This is when you need to run on that inspiration. All right, where you may struggle with the Mercury in Aries is if you don't ever walk in that inspiration moment. If you don't walk in that moment where you were just feeling like, oh my God, I got to do this. I want to do this and I'm going to do it right now. This is where you really might find yourself stagnant. And Mercury in Aries does not like to be stagnant. They almost always need the next thing because Aries is the boss, right? Aries is the first in the zodiac. It has, as one of the first 4 zodiacs, a very individualistic mind. Aries runs the house of self. Woo, give me some water, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to spit the fire. Hit that subscribe for me. I'm about to hit this. I'm about to spit the fire. Aries is all about exploration. All right. Exploration primarily of how they identify with themselves. All right. They're really not thinking about how, not off the rip, and it's part of their journey to learn. They're not thinking about other people. So a lot of times people will think of Aries in general as somebody who's selfish. All right. Somebody who doesn't think about others. And here's the reality. They are here as the first zodiac sign to explore themselves. Aries is the baby in the zodiac, right? The first one. So think of it as the infant who just comes out. How much curiosity does an infant have? It's endless. No, it's absolutely endless. So your curiosity, your mind, your processing center is absolutely endless, and it always wants a brand new experience. Gemini as well, always looking for a brand new experience, and they're very adaptable with it. So you carry that energy. When you add that spark, baby, you are just always going to have fun. And that's when we get more into the 5th house for a second, because the 5th house also associated with Leo, another fire sign. Oh my God, can you feel the spark? Can you feel the inspiration? Can you feel the liberation coming from my voice, being able to teach, being able to creatively express myself, being able to do it with something that you actually love? Because Leo, that 5th house, is all about honor. All right. Integrity is huge for both the Aries and the Leo. Leo being the 5th house in this scenario. You have to operate from a place of integrity. lying is not going to work for you. If you are an Aries and you are a liar, you need to cut it out, because on the opposite end of Aries sits the Libra. And Libra stands for justice, all right? Even though Libra can actually twist the truth a lot, because the intellectual sign is a wind, it can really manipulate and twist the truth, but that's more in its toxic stages. It actually stands for justice, all right? It stands for balance, it stands for harmony. And Libra might be the one that set the rules on the other side. It's a social sign, it's more interpersonal. It wants to talk with others. It wants to always think about others. On the opposite in the Aries, more it thinks of others than it does for itself. So that's a Libra struggle. But back to Aries, Aries is thinking primarily for itself, and where it can struggle is to allow its mind to adapt, to think and support others more intentionally, all right? That's where the big change happens. When you start thinking, when you have gotten to the place in your life where you felt you've explored instinctively enough your own mind, which is never going to stop, your own creative passions, which is never going to stop, your own self-identity, which is never going to stop, all right? When you explore these things and you got to a place where you feel you're able to actually expand, you're actually able to give to others, this is when the magic starts to happen, especially in that 5th house, because you're now going to be the leader of different children. The 5th house represents children. You're going to be able to lead in that. Romance, you're going to be able to lead in that. In a way where, I can tell you from myself, personal experience. Woo, I got to take a breath. I'm just spitting right now. I'm coming through on straight channel, baby. Hit that subscribe. I'm channeling right now, all right? Sometimes you got to calm that flame down with a breath. When they're inspired, they're likely not to breathe. So one of the things with Mercury and Aries is you're actually prone to headaches. All right, I will let you know that Aries in general, they are prone to headaches because it's the ram, and it wants to just ram things. It wants to go at it full speed. When it has a clear-cut direction, it can't be stopped, baby. All right, and this is what some of the time people may think you're selfish. So instead of thinking of yourself as selfish, I'd rather you really consider yourself. You are a selfless person, quite frankly. It's in your blood being the opposite of Libra. You really do care for people, all right? You really have a sweet heart. You have the heart of an infant. You have the mind of an infant, all right? We're talking Mercury, how we intellectually process things, how we interact with our local environment, all right? You are always going to react from a leadership position. Your mind works in the space of leadership. Your mind works in the space of the god of war, all right? Let's not forget, Aries is the god of war, ladies and gentlemen. So you may really attack things and go at things with a full head of steam, thinking of it as, I gotta win, all right? Because Aries never wants to come second to none, all right? Neither does Leo. This is a fire sign type thing. They're individuals. They really care about blazing their own trail. This is an Aryan thing. They want to blaze the trail. They want to surf brand new topics. They want to go through things that no one has ever been through. They want to explore in a manner that, quite frankly, again, has never been explored. All about being first. Where you may struggle on the other side with the Mercury and Aries on the 5th house is you might never start anything you think you're gonna lose. So this is where there's some room for improvement with Aries and Leo, the 5th house and Aries and Mercury. They may, and myself included, if I think that I'm going to come second, I may not ever want to start. They hate to lose so much that if they generally always win, but when they know they might lose, this is when they suck at things, right? So this where now you always want to be the leader as a Mercury and Aries. So if you have other leaders, other gurus, what has helped me a lot is to actually learn and take on female mentors, all right? And yoga and exercise group classes, taking on female mentors, women helping me with my own feminine energy and allowing that feminine energy to come in, because we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. Allowing females to lead and show a more nurturing way, not always looking to boom. Which is where now I take that breath to kind of restore and speak from a more clear mind rather than just a ball of energy full of enthusiasm. Sometimes it just requires us to slow it down, get your heart rate more in sync, and be able to speak from clarity. And this is something that the Aries may struggle with, because sometimes when that fire gets going, It gets really tough for us to calm down, and it gets really tough for you as a leader with that mind, as of a leadership mindset. It gets tough to be able to adapt and lead from a place that people are ready and able to listen to. This has been a tough struggle of mine because we identify so much with self-identity, with the self, that we may ignore the needs of others. All right. Here's where I want to wrap this up. As you subscribe, I want to tell you something really important. All fire signs are visionaries. Okay. You generally operate by imagining and envisioning a life, a path, a creative project in the 5th house, what kids in that life may look like, what your romance life may look like. You literally envision these things, and then it comes true. Your imagination is your guide, all right? You are a visionary. If you are any fire sign, especially Mercury and Aries, you are a visionary. You have a very, very quick mind, one of the quickest, but your mind may not be able to sustain very long something like a Mercury in Aquarius or a Mercury in a Capricorn. These are sustainable signs. Mercury in Virgo, they are sustainable. The quick ones, Mercury in Gemini is really quick too, potentially the fastest, I think, but it also is very changeable, right? Aries is also in its own ways changeable, more because its instinct wants to do something new. So you may struggle as an Aries and Mercury to finish a project. I had to let that one sit as the bus rolled by. You may struggle to finish a project, all right? So rely on the different aspects in your natal chart to see where you can pull on like earth elements if you have it to really finish that project instead of just starting something new. Because you're a visionary and you see so far into the future, you're literally starting trends before everybody else is even aware about it. Where you may struggle is giving up too quickly, because Aries is a spark, right? It may give up too quickly on that endeavor. So you really have to find something that has a more unlimited source of passion for you to attach to, because you're very likely to change a lot. But Aries and Mercury is a very artistic sign. I want to really promote this because Aries and Mercury is a very angry person. You're very likely to yell. And so be mindful of being able to find that partner in romance and love with somebody who can withstand the heat, all right? That is not scared to be in a hot kitchen with you, because you're very likely to yell. You're very likely to actually be enraged. I, for myself, have allowed that creative expression through systemic racism in America, and really just allowing that narrative to continue of I can't really speak in the tone that I speak. I can't really be as excited as I am without being a monster, without being a scary figure. So that's one of my suppressions that, as you see now, I'm like, look, throat chakra, we're going to have to crank up this and let go of these narratives, all right? Which Aries is absolutely good at. Aries don't hold on to grudges, all right? Because of that spark of the flame, Leo being a bonfire of the flame, Sagittarius being a wildfire that's just everywhere as a mutable sign, Aries is a cardinal sign, and you have the inclination to push forward. You have the inclination to really start brand new projects. You are guaranteed the entrepreneur. I can't really see an Aries and Mercury anywhere, especially in the 5th house of anywhere other than the entrepreneurial space, because your entire mind works like an animation, all right? Just don't be so quick to give up on your projects. That's why I really failed a lot here and there. And put yourself in an entrepreneurial space, because I don't really believe that many Aries and Mercury, depending on other placements, that you'll be able to survive in environments where other people are your boss and they're telling you what to do. Because Aries, you're the boss. You the boss. You the boss, baby. I'm checking in here from Medellin, Colombia right now. My name is Pernell Bobby, asking you to subscribe, telling me if you're still here to put a red heart and some fire signs down in the comments, because you're a fiery person. You're a fiery communicator. Your mind works super quick, super not necessarily even rational, but just instinctive, all right? You may skip the logical processing, and it's for you to, in this lifetime with a Mercury and Aries, to rely on your gut instinct, all right? When your gut instinct has shown you something, rely on that, all right? Trust that even when it doesn't make logical sense. Mercury and Aries, you are a very spiritual sign, all right? You are somebody who works and operates on faith. As somebody always leading and pushing the narrative forward, you operate on faith, baby. All right, you don't need logic. This is not how you roll. You work on your instinct. And as you go through a new experience, you store that memory in your gut. All right. So if you ever find yourself, especially if you look into human design, if you're a generator, your sacral chakra, that sexual area, you might really get a hard on, and that becomes your compass. That becomes your map, your guide of this is something I'm really interested in, I need to do. And it has nothing to do with being sexually horny in that moment. You rely on your gut, baby. You know what's going on. You're a Mercury in Aries. You're the boss mentality. You don't take orders from nobody. But on the opposite side, don't forget that you share the axis with Libra, who is always worrying about balance and putting people first. You are somebody who cannot live an unjust life, all right? You are somebody who needs to really play by your own rules and not really, you always have to respect other people's and their individuality, and that's really natural for you, so I'm not telling you nothing special. This is my interpretation of Aries and Mercury, 5th house, baby, love.